Welcome to Faith Between the Lines. I'm Scott. There comes a morning, sometimes weeks after the hardest moment, sometimes months, when you wake up and something just feels different. Not healed, not fixed, not even better really, just different. The air feels a little less heavy, the quiet feels a little less sharp, and for the first time in a long time, you notice that you're not breathing without bracing for impact. It's a fragile kind of morning. The kind where you sit up on the edge of the bed and wonder if this small shift is real, or if it will slip away the moment you stand. You don't trust it yet. You're not supposed to. Recovery doesn't always arrive with trumpets and bright lights. It arrives like this, quietly, almost shyly, asking nothing of you except to notice. And maybe you do, and maybe you don't. Both are okay. Because the first morning after grief isn't about feeling strong. It's about realizing you're still here. You're still breathing. You're still held by a God who hasn't moved an inch, even when everything else has. And this is where the road begins. Not with clarity, but with a single, gentle awareness. I made it through the night. And that's enough for today. Recovery has a way of surprising us. Not with big, dramatic breakthroughs, but with small, uneven steps that don't always make sense. One day you'll feel steady enough to make coffee, take a walk, laugh at something unexpected, and the next day you find yourself right back into heaviness, wondering if you made any progress at all. This is the part no one prepares you for. The back and forth, the up and down, the days that feel like you're moving backward, even when you know you're not. Healing isn't a straight line. It never has been. It's a winding path with switchbacks and pauses, with moments of clarity followed by moments of fog. And sometimes the hardest part isn't the grief itself, but the guilt that sneaks in when you start to feel even a little bit better. You wonder if you're moving ahead too quickly, or if I'm feeling lighter means I'm forgetting. But that's not how love works. Love doesn't fade when the pain softens. Love remains steady and unchanged, even as you begin to heal around the wound. So if today feels messy or uneven or confusing, you're not doing anything wrong. You're simply human. You're simply healing. And every step, even the shaky ones, is part of the road that leads you forward. There comes a point in healing when your body and your mind and your spirit all start speaking together at the same time. Not loudly, not clearly, but enough that you notice something shifting inside. Your body, tired from months of stress of holding everything together, begins to ask for rest in a different way. Not the collapse into the bed kind of rest, but the gentle, nourishing kind. A slower walk, a deeper breath, a moment where your shoulders finally drop without you realizing it. Your mind, foggy from grief and decision-making and worrying, starts to clear in small pockets. You might remember something you forgot. You might feel a spark of curiosity again. You might even catch yourself thinking about the future, even if it's only for a moment. And that moment matters. And your spirit, the part of you that has been bruised and quiet, begins to stir. Not with certainty, but with soft awareness that you are still connected to something larger than your pain. A whisper of faith, a flicker of hope, a reminder that God has been holding you even when you felt too tired to hold on. You know, learning to live doesn't happen all at once. It happens in the tiny, almost invisible ways. A small appetite returning, a song that doesn't hurt near as much to sing, a prayer that feels like a plea and more like a conversation. These are the signs that recovery is taking root. Not loudly, not quietly, but faithfully. As we walk this road of recovery, one truth becomes clearer in every step. Healing is rarely something we do in perfect community. Some of us have people who show up, who sit with us, who help carry the weight, and some of us don't. Some of us walk this road with empty rooms and quiet phones. Some of us learn to be our own strength because no one else is there to offer theirs. Some of us survive by grit, by faith, and by stubborn hope, by refusing to sink even when the waters rise. If that's you, I want you to hear this. Your strength is real. Your endurance is holy, and the fact that you're still here, still breathing, still trying, is not a small thing. It's courage in the purest form. And even when it feels like you're walking alone, you're not unseen. God walks with you in ways you don't always feel. They're not dramatic or obvious. Sometimes it's just a quiet push that gets you out of bed in the morning. The small spark that keeps you going. The whisper that says, hey, not yet, keep moving. But for those that do have helpers, caregivers, friends, or family, their presence is truly a gift. But for those who don't, you survive as a testament to a different kind of grace. A grace that meets you in the silence. A grace that holds you when no one else does. Recovery is not a solo journey, even when it feels like one. Because even in the loneliest seasons, you are accompanied by faith, resilience, and by the God who refuses to let you go. I want to read you a short poem this morning. The name of this poem is called The Road Begins Again. I took one step, then paused again, unsure if I was ready. Grief still echoes in my chest, a hollow, trembling, steady. But somewhere in the quiet air, a soft truth was spoken, that healing isn't lightning bright, but gentle, slow, unbroken. So I rose again with smaller hope and let the morning guide me. For every road begins anew when mercy walks beside me. I wanted to share that with you today. You know, as you continue on this road, on your road, the simple truth is recovery doesn't ask you to be strong every day. It doesn't demand perfection or speed or certainty. It only asks you to be presence. One breath, one moment, one small step at a time. There's going to be days when you feel steady, and then there's going to be days when you feel really undone. Days when hope feels close, and days when it feels like it's a distant memory. All of the part of that is healing. All of it's allowed. And though every rise and fall, every quiet morning, and every heavy night, you're still held by a love that does not waver, a love that stays, a love that meets you exactly where you are and walks with you to a place in your heart. There is a strength that faith gives us that doesn't always feel like strength at first. It doesn't roar. It doesn't lift us up in dramatic ways. Sometimes it's nothing more than a quiet belief that we can make it through one more day. Sometimes it's a simple whisper that reminds us that we are loved, even when we feel unlovable. A faith doesn't erase the pain, but it steadies the hand that carries it. And when the road feels long, faith becomes a gentle courage that rises in the background. The courage to keep breathing, to keep hoping, to keep taking small steps, even when the destination is unclear. It's a reminder that we are held by something larger than our grief, something patient, something patient enough to walk us through our lowest and slowest paces. Faith doesn't rush us. It strengthens us. It waits with us. It grows with us. And in time, it becomes a quiet power that rises in you again. So as you move forward, slowly, gently, and honestly, may you feel the light beside you. Not a blinding light, not a demanding one, but a soft, faithful glow that reminds you that you are not walking alone. That it reminds you that you are still becoming. That reminds you that you even here, there is now hope. I want to thank you for spending your time with me today on Faith Between the Lines. I hope this met you right where you are. And before I go, may strength rise in you when you least expect it. And may grace guide your steps as you continue on the road to recovery.